Until you start thinking this way, there is no way you're going to be consistent in trading, okay? Welcome back everyone. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And today's subject is going to be on why many traders are failing to become consistent, or they're failing to get a straight up rising equity curve, okay? And it all comes down to the mindset about trading, okay? And this is what I found in my experience in trading and what I've been studying and what I learn about it. It's trading's all about psychology, okay? It's all about understanding that you have to think a certain way when you're trading, okay? And if you guys know Mark Douglas, he was a great psychological trader. What he basically talks about is that in trading, we need to think in probabilities, okay? And we need to understand that, like I've said in many of my other videos, that the market is unique, okay? And many traders think they understand this. They think they understand that they take risks when trading. They understand that obviously when they've got a stop loss, oh, I've got a stop loss, so I know I'm taking a risk. But it's about really understanding the risk you're willing to take and just accepting the fact before you've even entered the trade that you have actually, that you can lose and that you may not be right. And what he talks about is basically trading is just, it's a probability game. It's all about letting the numbers play out, letting your strategy play out its probabilities, okay? So it's not about that one trade you're going to take, yeah, because like a lot of people, they get so caught up on that one trade they want to take. They got to make sure it's perfect. They got to make sure they got the perfect entry. You got to make sure it hit the exact spot where they want to enter. But no, it's just about once you can identify your strategy and once you know your strategy works, it's just about letting them numbers play out, alright? It's about letting the probabilities play out in your favour. And what I really mean is just like, so let's say you've got a strategy, okay? And you've got a strategy that you know works 30% of the time, okay? And you know when you see this strategy, there's a chance that it could play out in your favour, okay? So why would you then insist when entering that trade that you must win when you know your strategy is 30% of the time? So you know that you must take a certain amount of trades in order to play out them probabilities, okay? So when traders are so caught up on the fact of the now and then and trying to make sure that trade they're focusing on, that's the winner, this one I'm about to enter is going to be the winner. It's about, no, what are the next 20 trades going to do? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm getting at? And it's like a lot of traders neglect that. They obviously they don't understand that and they're not being consistent. So then they look to the market to get more information. They try and find the information for why they're losing in the market. They become so good at technical analysis, but they just can't execute their trades or they can't execute them properly without fear. And it's what I'm saying is when you allow fear to be a part of your trading, so when you allow emotions to be a part of your trading, this is when you make trading errors, okay? You see the market differently. Your brain tries to see things to either get yourself out of the trade or put yourself in the trade or stay in the trade. So if you know you're drawing down, structure's changing, you're already in your stop loss, and you can clearly identify structure's changing, right? But someone with a clear head, they'll be able to identify that and they'll be able to exit their trade, protect their capital, take half the risk they were going to take because they were clear-headed. They understood, okay, this trade's not working in my favour. I can see structure changing. We're already 50% in my stop loss. It's going to continue up, okay? And when we're not clear-headed and when we're so set on making sure we're right or making sure this trade we enter now is going to be the winner, this is when we make these trading errors and it blurs the way we look at the charts and it affects how you trade, guys. So what I'm trying to say is you need to look at the market objectively. You need to be able to identify your strategy objectively, okay? With no hesitations, you need to be able to see, okay, when price gets to here, this will be my entry point because of X, Y, and Z. And then you'll enter flawlessly, okay? So as traders, we got to stop thinking that the next trade we're taking has to be the winner. It's more like the next trade we're taking could be the one that plays out in our favour, could be the one that hits that probability of us taking profit. And it's just about letting the numbers play out, right? So it's a numbers game, guys. It's a numbers game, and it's just identifying your strategy. And when you see your strategy, you just enter when you see the identification coming up, and you just simply let the numbers play out, guys, okay? We're going to head over to the charts. I'm going to show you some of my live trades I took today. I took 2 this morning. Didn't feel like taking any others, but this is what I got a break even, and then I got a take profit. Okay, right, so let's jump to the charts. Okay, so this is the first trade I took up here, right? And what was I looking at? So in the morning, none of this data had actually been printed. We were looking at this, and what I was seeing, I was just clearly trying to see that where was structure going. Okay, structure was going up, we're making higher lows, price was going up, and so my bias was we're just looking for buys. Okay, and I'm still trying to remember that whatever trade I take, I don't need to know if I'm right. All I need to know is see my entry points and enter. And if we lose the trade, it simply means that the probabilities didn't play out in our favor this time. Okay, guys, and this is what you guys need to understand, because trading, you just need to keep executing and letting the trades play out over time. It's about a 20 trade basis sample, so it's like take 20 trades and then see how you're doing. If you're not doing as well as you'd like to be, adjust things. Write your trades down, guys. Okay, so this is what I was looking at. I could see that price was creating, let me zoom in a bit more for you guys. Okay, so I could see that price was actually creating a double bottom sort of pattern. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I posted this. And what I was identifying is I just wanted to see that price pulling down or creating a higher low. Okay, and the reason for this is because obviously if we're going to trend up after this double bottom pattern, we obviously want to see price obviously come up, create that higher high which is here, and then just have a slight pullback, obviously creating the higher low, which indicates to us we're going in an uptrend. Okay, or we may be starting to develop an uptrend. Okay, I entered this one kind of late, that is why I did hit break even, but let's pull this down. So this is what I was looking at. I got prepared and everything. I did enter late, like I said, and the reason why I entered late is because I let the emotions get the best of me. I hadn't fully accepted the risk. Okay, I didn't fully accept. It was the first trade of the day. I was feeling confident, but I wanted to make sure the first trade of the day went off well, because sometimes when the first trade you take you lose, you can start to get into your feelings. So obviously I had that playing in my mind. So this trade wasn't the best trade. I made trading errors because of the way I was thinking. Okay, you need to accept the risk before you have even entered, and this is something we've all got to work on. We've just got to accept the risk before we enter the trade. Okay, so I saw price pulling up. I didn't want to enter yet. I wanted to wait to see price creating our momentum shift to the upside. So I wanted to see price obviously pull back a little bit, and then I wanted to see price come up, obviously telling me that price is going in the right direction. So it was an instant execution, and I think I entered at this point here, wherever so I entered around here, because obviously in the live market it would have been a normal candle. So before entering, what I like to do, and I suggest it for you guys, is drawing my break even level. So once price crosses this level, I will close at break even. Okay, guys, because trading is about protecting your capital. Okay, it's not about winning, it's about protecting. It's about making sure you're not losing too much, because in trading, that's one of the only things we can really control, and it's controlling our losses. That's one of the main things we can really control. Okay, so I got triggered in, and we're just riding this trade out. Okay, so let's just ride this trade out. I wasn't too confident about this hit and take profit. I guess this is just something I felt, but nevertheless I entered the trade, and this is how it played out. Obviously once we cross this black line here, as you can see that it shot up, never hit, spreads didn't take me out. I like to make sure I'm either out from the trade by a break even, stop loss, or a take profit. Okay, guys, I don't like to exit trades halfway through. I just like to let them play out, and this is a good habit to develop. Okay, so obviously price came up, we just missed our take profit, and then what happened is price then came down, I set break even, and as you can see, we then got stopped out of the trade at break even. Okay, there was nothing entirely wrong with this trade, but obviously guys, I suggest when you enter trades and you lose or win, go back, analyze them. Okay, break them down, think how you could have done them differently, and try and rewalk through your thought process during taking the trade. Okay, and I saw that price obviously did stop here. This would have been a perfect entry point. Okay, or even here would have been a nice entry point, but like I said, I was hesitant. I wanted to make sure, and because of that we just missed take profit. If we were to enter here, I go for my 7.5 pip stop loss, then usually go for a 2 to 2 for spreads. As you can see there, we would have actually hit take profit. Right, for the next trades, again guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you would have seen that I posted a video shortly after this trade took profit. And just my thought process through it was just, okay, so we've made this new lower low. What I wanted to see is I wanted to see a new lower high to tell me that the market is gonna, or is in a downtrend, okay? And that's all it is, guys. We're keeping our heads clear so that we can objectively view the market. When we're caught up in emotions and trying to make sure we win that next trade, this is when the charts become unclear to you guys. And this is something, again, Mark Douglas talks about, okay? When we go into the markets with a clear state of mind, we can see the charts clearer. We can see them for how they really are, okay? So what I was identifying here is obviously identifying that we are creating, or we're going into a downtrending market. And as you guys know me, I like to trade my break and retest patterns, okay? And all I was doing is, once I identified this lower low key level, I drew my structure point around here. And all I wanted to do was just wait for price to simply come back to the level and then show some signs of a wick rejections, okay? And this is what we got. I think we got 4 wick rejections. I entered on the 3rd or 4th, can't remember. And that's it. I was able to enter this trade at the exact point of when the market's telling me to enter, okay? Because I was clear-headed and because I was able to look at the market objectively, okay? I was able to identify my strategy, my edge. And once I'd seen my entry signal, I entered straight away, okay? I didn't care if the market pushed up a little bit. I didn't care if it pushed down a little bit. I identified my strategy, okay? As soon as you see your strategy, okay, all you want to do is, like I've said in my older videos, is you just want to stop thinking, okay? You've done all the thinking, okay? You've got your confluences, okay? We see the break, we see the return back to the key level, and then we see the wick rejections, and we're also trading with the trend, okay? They're the things you have to think about first, for my example, okay? And once that thinking's over and once you've entered, there's nothing more you need to do. You just need to tell yourself, okay, this trade might work out in my favour this time. It might not. And if it doesn't matter, on to the next one, okay? And that's what it's about. It's about developing that mindset of just on to the next one. This one didn't play out, on to the next one, okay, guys? I really want you to understand this because it will help you become consistent. So once I saw my wick rejections here, I'd identified that price has obviously broken this key level and then returned. I entered, okay, and this is how this trade played out. If you guys had seen it on my Instagram, you know how. And just like that, we had such little drawdown. We just actually took profit. Price came back and then returned again. But that's not the point. The point is that when you are able to look at the market objectively and when you are able to be clear-headed and understand the risk you were taking before you have entered, then things become clear. You are able to trade without hesitation, and that's what makes people consistent, okay? Because they're able to just identify their pattern. Once they see their entry signal, they just enter, and they keep playing out the process over and over again. And in the long haul, this is when the consistency comes, because the probabilities will eventually play out in their favor, okay, guys? If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a thumbs up, leave a comment. And remember, trading's hard, okay? It's not easy, right? But as long as you practice, as long as you try and adapt the correct mindset, you will become consistent, okay? I'll see you guys in the next one.